Hello everybody, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. I junk journal and the slow stitch, and today I'm slow stitching. Well, I'm going to unload the bag that I've had downstairs. It's the bag we've been working on, and it's going to have things from this book that we're going to be doing today. So I'm getting some fabric out and I'm getting some pattern pieces. It's quite exciting. I've got my old phone, that needs to go here. Glasses, oh, we need lots of glasses. This is junk journal stuff that I've been cutting out in front of the TV. And I just thought I'd show you how I'm going to use the bag really. This is the pot that I made, or basket for the want of a better word, that's going to have all my cottons in. And my strawberry pin cushions, a needle book and some white buttons. I'm just going to pop that there, but I need that today. I decided to put the fabrics that I was working on in one of these net bags, and then I will show you what I've done on the front. What we'll do on the back another day, or I might do it and then show you. It might be something I pick up, and if I take it back downstairs I probably will just be picking it up. So this is the front. We've got the toile fabric. I did some like kind of sort of stitch marking really, just with different embroidery thread on the flowers just to bring them out. I've sewed all the ribbon on. I've started to put some little stars. There's a little star there. I did that before I put all this on, and then I started with just what was left on the end. So I've got a colour left. This doesn't show up very much, I shouldn't imagine on camera, but I can see it here. So if I've got, you know, a decent length left, I'm just going to stitch little stars, almost like I do in my junk journaling, where I might make with a white or gold gel pen, I'll make a little star or some little marks. I'm going to do that. So this is the back. I'm really liking this. Do you know what? The strap length isn't quite as long as what I'd like for a handbag, so I think there might be another one or two of these made that I use as a handbag. I'm thinking I might make a summery one and then a wintry one. I don't know if you remember, if you've been with me for a while, well, since Christmas time, I started on a beautiful robin, kind of overlaying this robin from one of my fabric samples, and I'm like, oh, that would look really cool on a bag. So this might become a thing. So, and this is where this was inspired by Kate in the Nest, but it doesn't look at all like what Kate does in Kate in the Nest. It was just the idea of making a bag and kind of putting my things that I like on it. So I've got a patch here and a patch there left from the fabric sample. There's still some more that I'm going to do the outside of this so they all coordinate, and then if I've got enough, I might do some other bits and pieces with it. I don't know, yeah, to sort of bring it all in together. But that's it. I've got a little one of my stamped things, and it's just a stamped bow. I will probably end up putting like a pink button in the middle of that. This is some of the flowers that were on the front. This is some more of the twirl. So we've got a gentleman, I think he was fishing, but this is the edge, the actual edge of the sample. So we'll just have him holding a stick. And then a tree. And I like it a lot. So it's going to make a nice bag that I have carrying around the house. You can see it's lined, it's got a bit of ribbon in it. And I like the pockets, so I'll be able to put, you know, like glasses, and like the needle book might go in the pocket, or scissors or other things in the pockets too. I've left both of the pockets open on the back as well. Yeah, so that's not what we're going to do today, but that is what that's my main slow stitch thing that I am doing at the moment. Sometimes I make a big thing and sometimes I'll make lots of little things. But it's coming up to Easter, so I thought we should do something Eastery. And I remember, I think I've talked about this, that like when Lily was little, and I can't find any and I don't want to go rooting around in a room, I did make her some bunnies. I didn't use the pattern that I'm using today. I actually bought her a fabric bunny that she used to be, when she was a real little baby, it used to sort of hang on the side of her car seat, and it had a bandana, and I took a pattern off that. I basically kind of just drew around it. And then I've had this book for a long time. It's even got tea spilled on it that doesn't quite wipe off. And it's Crafting Springtime Gifts, and it's a Tilda book, and it is, I can't remember when I bought it. It was £8, $7.99 when I bought it. But I'm sure you'll be able to find this in a second-hand book. But it's a very beautiful kind of Scandi almost style. I'm trying to find a date. Oh, so it's 2010 edition this, but it was first in 2006. 2004 in Copenhagen, I think. There we go. So, out of this, there is a bunny rabbit. I mean, there's so many nice little projects that can be slow stitch projects. So I think they want you to do these not slow stitch, but I would do them slow stitch. I think, like, you know, that. Where's the bunny? That's the bunny. Look at her. And then I like the duck. We might end up making the duck one time. Look at that. It's a really nice book. I like the ducks on sticks as well, or on little wheels, button wheels. Let's see if I can find this bunny. There's chickens as well, chickens with outfits on. There we go. So this is the bunny. I've got a bigger picture of him. And they've got little outfits on. I don't know if we'll get as far as making little outfits. I don't think we'll get that far. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to do this. Now, there is a pattern sheet. And you could be really precise and use the pattern sheet. Where are we? That's the large bunny. Or you can guess it, like I did. I didn't even trace it, because all I had with me. See, you can see it's really not gonna look. Well, it's gonna look similar, but it's not. It's not the same, really. That's a leg. Small bunny ear. And there should be an arm one. Where's the arm one? Must still be in the bag. Oh no, I might have to draw another arm one. I could do another arm one when we get to it. I'm sure there's a bit of card I can draw an arm one if I can't find it. Let's have a look. It's not in that. I've been feeling, since I had COVID in October, I feel like I've just got really low energy. Struggle is real. Like, I wonder, like, what have I just done? I don't know if it's menopause as well. Could be. Right, we'll just do an arm. I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm trying to look for one. We'll do an arm when we come to it. I'm just going to have a little look around for something to do an arm with. I've got paper. It'll be fine. Right, so we're not going to use this pattern as such. I've made my own pattern, which I'll just have to cut an arm on now. So how are you? I've told you how I am. I don't have much energy or mental capacity. But how are you? Before I truly think I'm going a bit mad. No, I'm not really. Okay. This is basically how I did it. I sort of looked at the pattern in the book. It's probably just as well I've done this. Give you an idea of what I did. I sort of looked at the pattern and just sort of roughly drew it. Just got a bit of a curve and then a curve in. make it a bit longer, just because I think it's always better to cut a bit off. There we go. That's how I did it. Because I didn't have any, I've got tracing paper down here, but I didn't have any with me. And I've got tissue paper, like I could have done. I've got loads of gift wrap tissue paper. Laid it over and drew on it like that. I could have put it on my printer. It's got a photocopying function. I could have copied it and then copied it like 3 or 4 times just to get all the bits out. Twice. Yeah, twice I would need to copy it. So I could have done all that, but I didn't. I just did the let's have a little play. Can make, it's almost like making your own pattern really. It's a bit like cooking. If this was a piece of clothing I would want to put on my body, then that would be like baking. I would need to get all the ingredients absolutely right and all the measurements precise. However, this is not cooking. This is not baking. It's making a rabbit out of scraps. So that'll do. Right. I'm sure when I go back downstairs I will find the other piece of the original one. So I got 2 fabric samples out of my stash, and I've got this that's like it's kind of got a hexagon on it, and I think this might be more difficult to work with because it's got lines, so I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this. This also has lines, but I'll be able to cut the pattern pieces and sort of ignore the lines and just have the coloured fabric. It is 100% linen, so that's quite nice. I'll cut the ends off. The ends will become tags and stuff in junk journals. I know some people have said about soaking them off and stuff, but I'm a slow stitcher, but I'm not very patient. So I'll just find a different use. So yeah, that will go in my junk journaling stash. Okay. I've always thought that if I had my own little booth, that's what my tags would be, my price tags would be things like that. It'll never happen because nobody wants to buy or spend the money they would have to spend to own, I don't know. Certainly that bag, I was thinking about like, well, could I sell that bag? And I'm like, but it took so many hours because it's all hand stitched. It's hours upon hours upon hours that I just don't think that that's viable. Really, which is a bit sad, but it is what it is. Tell me if you make things and how do you sort of, it's like squaring a circle, isn't it? I might do a stripe down the bunny ears. Can I do that? Not really. I might have to just put an odd bit of the bunny ears. So it's fitting on. I need the bunny legs. I need 4 of these and I need 4 of those. To put that, I need 2 of them. So if we did that way, I need 2 of these, I need 4 of these, 4 of these. This I can use any other fabric because it's sort of a lining, and I'm going to applique it on. Right, where was my pins and needles? In here. There's not a lot of pins on here because I've been using them, but there'll be enough. I need to dig out some more pins from somewhere. Hope you can see with that in the way. So we can have this here. We'll put a little bit of a seam allowance on when we're cutting it out. Are we going to have a line down the legs? I definitely have this up here. I don't mind if there's a line down one of the legs and not the other. I think it would just look silly if it was on the body for some reason. Yeah, that's alright. And then we've got, so we need 4 of these. And these pins are getting dull because I push them through card and such. And they're ancient. So I do the arm after I've cut this off because I might be doing another line down there, and then we could have brown arms. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Have we got enough of a... That's a bit of a seam allowance. Yeah, there's beginnings of the bunny. Yeah, about 1/2 inch. Is that 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch? I'm not good with inches. In fact, I'm just going to cut that out as a blob and then finesse it. Once I've got it off. I should be using my other scissors, but let's do... Yeah, about 1/2 centimetre in, that's good. So that's 1/4 inch, I think 1/2 centimetre. Got that. That's wastage. I know I should have it flat. I'm really... Do you know what? It's funny having things... cutting things out on camera, because I'm wary of you being able to see things. Making me a bit, as they would say up north, cack-handed. I am the daughter of a pattern cutter. My mum cut out industrial patterns in a mill up north. Very Elizabeth Gaskell. Well, no, they were making cotton cloth, weren't they? Whereas my mum worked in a mill that I think produced cloth, but then went on to like manufacture items. I might use that and cut it out so it's exactly the same size. And then cut the legs. Cut the arms. What did I do with the arms? Oh, plenty of stuff there for the arms. So this is sample fabric that I'm still wading through, but I would like to start getting that. I keep saying it and I keep not doing it. It's like sitting in front of a computer trying to write the letter, I think, to explain why I would like some of the fabric samples, preferably for no pennies. And then once I've done that, I will make it so you guys can get at it too and use it for places near you. So the idea would be that I could, like, within easy driving distance of here, there's a very sort of exclusive interior designer literally at the end of my road. And then there's a few There's a few places in the town. There's like a Laura Ashley and stuff like that in town. So it's asking them, you know, what do they do with their fabric samples? There's a big Glasswells, which is like a furniture shop. Excuse me while I have a drink of water. A furniture shop in Bury St Edmunds, which is a town nearby. Yeah, so there's enough places for me to get what I need. You know, like one of them will land for fabric samples. And they come in big books, and then you take the book. The best way to store them is actually to take the books apart, because you'll be able to get at the materials a lot easier, and there's not as much wastage if you take things apart than if you just left them, really. That's about 1/2 centimetre. So what have you done with your day? I've had a real homey day. I've put a big joint of pork in the oven. When I finish this, I'll go and do some roasted potatoes and stuff like that. We'll have a roast dinner because it's Sunday, we're English. Then just getting ready for tomorrow, basically. Kind of making sure there's clean clothes and stuff's been put away, and have a relax. But we're nearly there. I was thinking about sewing these sort of wrong sides together, but actually we're gonna have to do it and turn it inside out because of where the seam. If I'd done another type of pattern and there wouldn't be a seam down the middle of the face, I would have been able to do that and it would have been alright, but as it stands, it's probably not best. Right, I'm going to move this and you can see, I'm going to move it so I can with what I've already cut out. Can I do it like that? No, I think it's just going to have to be a bit odd. Oh, that's alright. Not going to worry about it then. I was going to try and make the lines sort of match up, but we're not going to worry about it. It's still going to be cute. And linen, if you look to buy linen for stuff like that, because I remember I got this book and I thought, oh, I really fancy making like the Tilda sort, and the other bunny rabbits I made out of like duvet covers and stuff, just stuff I had lying around the house. So I was like, oh, I'll try and do that. And then I went and priced up the linen. I said, no, we're not doing that. There's a big floppy ears. I might do a top stitch around the ears. I don't know. So Miles has been out softing, which is like when they all go and play shooting one another in a field. They had a movie scenario today. He's just come back, he's just got in the shower. I'm sure I'll find out all about what the scenario was later on. Let's let's assemble it and then we know what we're stitching. Keep that as a little set because if it's nice. Now, this one's not going to match up properly. I should have folded it the other way. What am I doing? Oh, it does. It matches up alright. Put this pin back. Okay, so that's the ears. That's the face and the body. It's going to be so cute. So the way this, so you kind of sew it around that way, but then when you come to close this end up, you close it sort of that way and it changes the shape of the body, because that's how I did my other bunnies. So I'm presuming it's the same way. Well, it's, I'm not going to read what the instructions are, but that's how I'm going to do it. I don't want a lot of brain power being used. That's Lily coming out of her room. So when Miles came back from Airsoft, there's a house at the back and they've got cats, and Dodger, our cat, used to play with their cats, but then one went missing and the other one died of a broken heart, like literally faded away. And then the one that went missing came back and he'd already got another kitten. So Miles went to visit the kitten now because it's a bit older, and the guy was like, should I let the cats out? In the UK, our cat, like, they always just live outside. I don't know, I don't know if it will change, but that's the way it is. In fact, to get a rescue cat, you have to be able to have a cat flap and an enclosed garden that they can go to, which he has. He has a garage and a shed to climb on and survey his world, and there's some like garages at the back. The other cat, when the other cats, they all used to play in the garages at the back. So it's like they were kids. They are kids. And he's really missed these little friends. There's not really any other cats in the area, so hopefully Myrtle will be allowed to go back outside and she'll have a play with him. Okay. So here's all our body bits. Put that there.
Sorry, were you recording?
I am. It's okay.
You weren't hearing my pitiful wails, were you?
We were hearing your pitiful wails, but that's alright.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. So, we're just going to use this. There's like a kind of, I don't know, beigey colour. And then when all these cotton reels, so I've got one here that's ended, what I'll do is I'll use them to they'll make really lovely vintage slow stitch kind of scroll things that are they can be as simple or as elaborate as you want. So that's always nice. I really like making those. And I might have, that might be, because I am thinking about doing an Etsy shop, that might be something that I do, is make kits for you to make like a vintage button one up with a vintage cotton reel, some fabric and some bits and pieces. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Is this in the way? I feel like it is in the way, so I'm going to move it back down here. I'm going to move these bits. I'll explain about. So this bit will sit in here, and this will be sort of raw stitched on, but we'll choose a coordinating fabric afterwards. So we'll keep that to one side. Let's keep all these bits. So what should we do? Should we have a go at the body? Let's do the body. I have no idea how long I've been here. Did I get a needle out? I thought I did, but I don't know what I did with it. This is what my brain is like. Let's get another needle. Let's get another one. This needle book is, it's not the first one I've ever made, but it's the first one that I've made and kept. So it's got like little bits of sari on it. I don't know where I got these little bits of sari from, which are really nice colours. That's a bit of my daughter's jeans, and then just some canvas. And then these are dishcloths from like Poundland, really cheapy dishcloths. So I could still actually stitch in there. I might do some little stitches, but yeah. And that's the original strawberry cushion, pin cushion as well. There is a video about making both of those things. The needlebook video is my most successful one, which I was a bit surprised at, really. The strawberry pin cushion, I don't think that, because I thought that would be a bit more of an original idea. Because I don't even know where I got that idea from. Been making them that long. Oh yeah, I would have thought that would have taken off more. I don't know if you see, that's the mystery that is this algorithm thing. I can't work it out. You know what? I think I just want to enjoy making videos, talking with people. So please leave a comment. I always like it when there's a comment. I might not get to it straight away, just because I don't think to look on the app thingy, so I'm not aware I've had them. And then I come back and it's like, oh, it's been 3 days. I do apologise. But yeah, I like sharing what I'm doing. I like finding other like-minded people. And that's really why I started watching YouTube. Once I worked out that you could, I don't need this pin and it's going to annoy me. Once I worked out what I could find, I really kind of got into it and let it influence. Which I would have said, really, I've not got my thimble, but I don't need it for this kind of stitching, would be sort of the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I was using it for what I deemed to be useful things, but I wasn't necessarily using it for pleasure. But I was getting into doing that. But then during the pandemic, when there's only so much TV, we're not big TV watchers anyway in my house, so we like to watch things that kind of do influence us. Not to buy things, because we're not that way. We like to save our money. But certainly on lifestyle, on creativity, that kind of thing. I remember the first time I ever watched it was to learn how to cut my own hair. And that's because I moved up from just outside of London to rural Cambridgeshire, basically. And I used to have a really nice stylist, and I was willing to spend quite a bit of money to get my hair cut. And I went into the hairdressers in this place, and they just couldn't cut my hair. It was awful. And so I then started going up to Wigan, where I grew up, and I used to have my hair cut there. Every time I went home, I had a haircut. And then we moved to Cambridge, and I thought, fantastic, there must be decent hairdressers. Oh, it was atrocious, absolutely atrocious. So then I went home and thought, I can't be doing with going up to Wigan every time I need to have my hair cut. So I went onto the YouTubes and found a way of cutting my hair, putting the layers in my hair. And it was that sort of a thing that, oh right, I need to do this. We need to fix the oven door, how do we do that? We need to fix the car, how do we do that? And I watched Jenny Belly when she was making Smash Books. I mean, that was donkeys years ago. And I always wanted to do it but never had the confidence to do it. And then it was during the pandemic and I was just like, I want to do something. I always slow stitched. That strawberry pin cushions and all that, like I said, they kind of predate that sort of thing. But yeah, I always slow stitched. And I always made things with paper, but not formalised in the same way as like a junk journal. I wouldn't know. I didn't have the vocabulary, basically. But yeah, I would like to. There's a few things we need to get out of the way, like big money things. But I would like to go on like a proper bookbinding course, I think. Although I don't know if it's a bit like this, I can't follow a precise pattern. So I can't bake, I can't do anything that's precision. Very much a sort of, like the way I cook is throw it in the oven, throw it in a pan. Most of the time it works out really well. Sometimes it doesn't. That's the lack of my precision. So the stitch that I'm doing here, while I'm wittering away, is a back stitch. So if you're new to slow stitching, this is the strongest stitch you can do outside of a machine stitch. It should be alright. I'm wondering if I need to double stitch everything. It's quite an open weave, but I don't think. No, that's fine. Might have a bit of a line on his belly, but I don't mind that. Let's have a look. Have to do some snipping of the corners there, get that come out smooth. But that's alright. I don't mind if the stitches are showing a little bit, I just don't want any gaping. So a back stitch is you go in, you go far down the lane, or far away than you would if you were doing a running stitch. Pull that out, go back on yourself and go in, far down, pull that out, back in on yourself. And it just produces a really good chain stitch that's you know, like I said, it's a strong, or the strongest one you can get before a machine stitch. Now, like, they used to make garments with this stitch. Tiny, teeny tiny, like, teeny tiny, smaller than this. So this is half of what I've just done. Imagine then doing that half again, like just a couple of the sort of strands to make like a really tight stitch. But like I said, I don't feel like I need to do that. We can be a little bit more generous with that long stitch. Keep your tension so it's not too tight. So it's firm but it's not too tight. I want to do the body because I want to show you how how to turn it out, and I'm going to pin it the way that we're going to sew it with the legs. You won't see the legs yet, but I don't think you're going to want to sit and watch me stitch this whole thing together, but I might do that quickly and then do the thumbnail and have him pinned up ready for the next time. I think we're gonna, his legs won't look jointed, they'll be all caught in the bottom hem, but I think his arms I'm going to sew on with a button. So you'll probably not be able to see the stitches because they're not like a different colour, but I just wanted to keep to this colour. So I didn't make a video yesterday because, like I said, I just have this draining energy thing going on, which I've struggled for energy before. I had a endo flare up on Tuesday. It was more like adhesions than proper endo flare. I'm just going to finish it off by back stitching on my back stitch. Keeping that tension. Yeah, so I don't know if it's that, but I just feel a little bit rough. So rather than push things, and I knew I'd put a couple of videos out last week, and I never go that many days without doing a video. I don't know if that's too much. Yeah, I just thought I'll have a rest. And actually I didn't end up resting. I ended up, I've got a family project that I want to do, like a junk journal project. So I ended up working on that. But it was, rather than sat at the desk, I printed a load of stuff off. I need to print another load of stuff off. And then I went and sat downstairs and cut things out. I'm having trouble seeing my thread. I might just do it off the camera. You know when you're getting old and you can't thread a needle anymore. I used to run a craft group in 2 jobs back. I had like a community work job, which was organising like community activities, and we had like a cafe, and there was a couple of craft things I used to do, but one was on a Tuesday morning, and I called it Craft Cafe because I liked alliteration. And there was a lady there, and she couldn't thread a needle, and I would spend all session. I didn't necessarily do any crafting because like I was there to facilitate their crafting. I'd spend all session just threading her needles, and I would do a few more so she could take them home threaded. But I've run sewing groups. That was with my toddler group. Some of the mums said that they had quite rambunctious children, and they'd taken their children to this quite posh in Cambridge sewing group, and they basically got kicked out because their children were quite rambunctious. So we ran a sewing group, we did a sewing basics course and a sewing machine to make a patchwork quilt. That was donkeys years ago now. All those children that those, babies were made for, these quilts are all finishing primary school. A long, long time ago. Okay. Backstitch a few times. Okay. I need some sharper ones than them. I'm just going to snip. I always find this a little bit terrifying. But it does need to happen. Just tiny bits. Okay, I'll have to find my stuffing from somewhere. I will imagine it's stuffed and then I'll find my stuffing. I might have to do some snipping around there. Oh no, it's alright. So that's the profile, and then what we'll do is when it comes to sewing stuff in it, let's push his tummy out. So it'll come like that, and then we'll have a bit of a line on his tummy. We will stitch it like that with the legs on, so that when he sits, his legs will sit properly. He'll have his little arms on each side. So that's the beginnings. So I'm going to stitch the rest of these up. Before I do that, what I thought I would do is I will get that pattern out and I'm going to lay it on the green mat, and that's how I'm going to end the video. And then if you want to have a go, you can take a screenshot and use that for to get the pattern. So let's do that. So this is Mr. Bunny's ears, and it's on a grid. This is the body. This is the arm. Let's write some instructions. Bunny. This is times, nope, times 4. I need 4 of those. 4 of those. And that's Bunny's leg. There we go. I might take a picture of that as well and put it on the post, and then you can take a screenshot of it and it gives you an idea of what you need. So I'm going to get to stitching. The thumbnail will have the bunny somewhat made. Might have arms, might have legs. I might put the book in it, something to make it look how far along the line it'll be. And next week on the Sunday, we'll see how far we can go. But I think we're probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos and we'll have it done. Clothes and all. It might be a girl. It might turn it into a girl and just make it a dress. That'll be the easiest thing to do rather than trousers. We don't know. We don't know. I like it though. Alright then. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.